right. We are in that time in the hour. I'm so happy that you're here. And isn't this crazy? Like, we started to set up this video and just practice. And Lloyd just kept telling me, doesn't need to be perfect. And I'm like, you agree with me, right? It should be perfect, right? Isn't that really the way it should be? Well, anyway, what is perfect is Miracell. And I'm going to show you, this is my favorite little brochure. It's crooked, and I know that. But when you go on there and get the free sample, the samples of the relief, which, as I said, I know I'm hawking this, but I can't help it. I can't help myself. When I like things, I do this. So the skin relief, you're going to get this bottle. This is an $11 value, but it goes so far. And then you're going to get the scar. Where's my little scar? I'll show you the tube. But for me, having the scar, and some of you are doing plastic surgery, some of you are doing other surgery, you work with them together. And then the redness starts to go. As you saw in my case, you can hardly see the scars anymore. In Sylvia's case, it's unbelievable. I mean, even since you were here, just the moisture, because I remember when I first saw it, and it was like, oh, kind of dry.
Yeah, and kind of shriveled. And,
so
it's good.
Let me just say Sylvia Nibley is here. And not only does she have inquiry cards, which are very cool. You can ask something about your life, and darn if the card doesn't indicate some relevant truth. So you go to inquirycards.com.
Yeah, you can actually pick a card. They're just really helpful for prompts for insight, solving problems, meditation, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and she does growing business organically. So how does somebody find out if they want to work with you?
Just go to sylvianibley.com.
Oh, she's so cool. She has her own domain.
Lots of free things.
Yeah, lots of free things. And she does. She puts on seminars locally. She's working on some major projects here in Utah. And Stuart Harris is with us. He's the everything, the CEO, the CFO, the CIO, the CIO. Yeah, no, not that you aren't that. But the CIO is good enough and the CMO is good enough. It just means that you have your hand in everything in the business and you keep your eye on it. And that's what's really cool about a family-run business. And so, Sylvia, I know you wanted to ask him a couple of questions, so let's just do that. And
well, for one thing, I just want to appreciate you because
we appreciate you.
I would not have come across these things without you. But I, as a person who's loved the natural kind of healing options for so long, I have kind of stayed away because all of the product lines, even if they say natural, I'm skeptical because I read the ingredients. I'm like, I'm not so sure about this. But I've tended to just kind of use whatever's in my cupboard, like the coconut oil, the whole whatever, and I don't know what I'm doing. So,
and you're looking really well, actually. Well, I, however, used the chemicals. No, I didn't. Not really. No, I'm just saying that.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this guy's skin.
I know it's true. It is true.
I want to look like that, so I'm really motivated.
And for 70, let's see, you're 89, right?
89.
You're looking good.
No, I just turned 60.
Yeah, but your skin looks so good. If you look at a lot of, especially men, so, I was a barber in Hollywood for years, as I was saying to the group, and it was a time when men were just waking up and realizing that it was okay to start using products. And men should use products equally, just like women should, because they're shaving and moisture is big. So Miracell really focuses on moisturizing.
Right. Well, we're in the cosmetic line, and according to the FDA, cosmetics can moisturize or improve the appearance of. So we stay with that verbiage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all about the labeling because, as many of you know, there's some things going on in the world right now that are pretty crazy in other countries. America, I wouldn't say is loosening. It's kind of tightening at the same time it's opening. And the reason it's opening is because those of you that have started deciding for yourselves that you want better quality, that you want natural, that you want botanicals, that you want, it's your vote, it's your dollar, it's your shopping habits. That's what's keeping this thing rolling. Otherwise, you would have incredible restrictions. You can talk about structure and function, but you'd have incredible restrictions. So,
yeah, but how wonderful to have a company who figures all this out so that I can just go and say, well, I trust what's in this. I'm okay to put it on my skin, and I'm learning something that I didn't know before. And
you were saying you have a team, the people.
Yeah, we work with formulators and chemists, people that understand the natural products and how they work. Like I said, there's an incredible amount of complexity in the plants. So they're the same kind of complexity that we have in the cells in our body. And the reality is we don't know what we don't know. There's so many things that are still mysterious. It was only in the 70s that we discovered vitamin D, and then they thought it was one thing. And now it turns out there's a whole bunch of different vitamin Ds and vitamin D3 and the same with the B vitamins. They thought it was one thing when they started, and now we know there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So what else do we not know? And the reality is that nature has already put in a huge amount of complexity in terms of the nutrient content in the plants. And so we're simply taking advantage of that so that the plants work with the chemistry in our bodies to give us the best results.
Yeah, you're also working with legacy ingredients, some that have been around for thousands of years that we know. And so it's very different than something that somebody just came up with and said, oh, what a great synthesized ideal product.
Right.
When you have history, and there's value to sacred tribes and people who've worked with herbs for centuries upon centuries. So
sure,
that,
like the camellia kissy oil has been used in Japan and China for thousands of years to give people beautiful skin. So
and they have great skin.
And the Japanese use camellia kissy oil in their hair, which gives them really nice looking hair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's a good thing. You know, in historically, they said that one of the things that subconsciously men are attracted to is women with shiny hair. That it was like that meant they were healthier.
Yeah, there you go.
So kind of interesting. So did you have any other questions? Like when?
Well, yeah, I would love to hear from you, Stuart, about the skin cycle, because I had never thought of that before. You mentioned something about like it makes a difference how long you use something.
Right. Well, your skin is on about a 30-day cycle. So every 30 days, all the cells are replaced. And I read this in Reader's Digest a while. It's like 4 or 5 billion cells come off of your body every day, something like that.
Creepy.
So your skin is really active. But the idea with using something like scar cream is that you want to work with the body in its natural cycle. So you don't think in terms of days or weeks, you think in terms of skin cycles. How many skin cycles do I need to use this to see results? So the goal with this is to be patient and consistent. And that way you're feeding the skin regularly so it gets the nutrients that it needs to do its job.
Yeah, I love that. Regular, consistent. And that was the one thing like when you were here last time, I really got on it. And I was like 3 times a day, 3 times a day, 3 times a day, drip, drip, cream, cream, drip, drip. And I did notice that the redness went down. So that was really exciting. I mean, it's interesting when you injure yourself. I mean, not only is it the damage of the skin, but it's so big, right, Sil? I mean, Sil was walking around like, I just want to make my point. No, you can't bend your finger. I, however, had my hands up. People thought that on Facebook that I was a mummy for Halloween. And I'm like, no, not really. And they're like, well, you could have eaten. And I was like, not really, because the cast went over here, right? Right. There's this whole traumatic thing. And the scars are the residue remembrance of it. And so if they can go down and the red goes away, let me tell you once more.
Yeah.
Scar cream, yes. The boss tells me yes. This is a limited time. Make sure you do this. If you're hearing this after March, this will not be available. So take advantage of it. It does have a short expiration date, but it's okay as long as you get it now and use it up. Just use the whole thing. And go to Miracell at our website at daniellelin.com. I'll show you the picture of the hand and foot cream too. But go to there and click in. Sylvia created a wonderful page for us, and then put your email address, and I think that's it. And thanks, Stuart Harris at Miracell, and thanks, Sylvia Nibley.
It's all about the self-care.
It's all about you, actually.
So thanks for having us.
All right, loved it. And thanks so much. And thanks to our producer, Lloyd.